finish in this race was 5th a few years back. Trying to do a little better here tonight. James, the yellow lights have been turned off. The pace trucks have made their way off the racetrack. 28 cars set to go 100 laps with a $50,000 payday on the line. Davenport and Ricky Thornton Jr. bring him to the green. This is your Dixie Chopper. Feel the thunder. At the end of lap number 1, Jonathan Davenport gets the early race lead. Ricky Thornton Jr. in second. Brandon Overton right now third. Tim McCready fourth. Devin Moran rounds out the top 5.
28 cars on this big 4/10 mile oval as they head down the main straightaway. There's the battle for second. Thornton and Overton. See how they pace themselves here, because those guys running in the back, they're going to be careful not to get lapped early on in this event. Brandon over to third, Moran fourth, Michael Norris runs in fifth, and it's the defending race winner, Tim McCready, in sixth in the Paler Motorsports 39.
It's a good look there at the battle for the 5th spot, or for the 4th spot, rather, as a couple cars make contact. You saw the 58, Garrett Alberson gets sideways there off the corner. He's able to gather it back up. We stay green. But you're looking back right now, James on the battle from 6th on back. Max Blair in the 111, Hudson O'Neill in the Rocket 1.
Remember, Tim McCready had to go to backup car, mechanical issues in his hot lap session. Won his C race early tonight. Hudson O'Neill at the bottom. The Rocket 1 team has won here once. That was in 2014 with Josh Richards behind the wheel. But right now, Davenport has led the first 5 laps. As you see the battle there between a pair of Rockets. And they're trying to go 3 wide back here. Satterley backs out of it, and Tim McCready still has the spot. 5 scored, still 95 to go. And second spot is getting a little sporty here into turn 3.
Sure is, James. Business picking up from position number 2 as Brandon Overton is closed back in on the 20-yard tee of Ricky Thornton Jr. This doesn't happen very far behind your race leader, as you see Jonathan Davenport right there kind of popping in and out of your screens. About 1.4 seconds in front of this battle for the second spot. Again, Ricky Thornton Jr. has it. Brandon Overton's the guy trying to take it away.
And Jonathan Davenport with 7 laps in the books right now, picking up the tail end of the field, coming out of turn number 2. There's Ricky Thornton Jr. on the split box, running second, over to third. Then it's Moran, Norris, O'Neill, Blair, McCready, Alberson, Satterley, your top 10. All green so far with 8 complete.
8 laps scored in this one, 92 laps to go, holding steady at a 1.4 second advantage. So we look on back through the field. Good battle back there, James, for looks like it's on back at about 14th, 15th, 16th or so, as guys running 2 and 3 wide. That's Tyler Erb, and that's Smokey and the Bandit themed at number 1, the black number 1, the 1 star of Chubb Frank, and the black and green 25Z of Mason Ziegler.
And Dustin Business is picking up. Here comes Brandon Overton behind Ricky Thornton Jr. Heavy traffic for your leader off at turn 4 with 10 in the books here tonight.
10 laps scored in this one, and this happens just 1 second behind your race leader, Jonathan Davenport. There again, you see Davenport peeping in and out of your screen on the left-hand side. Man, oh man, things getting crazy on back through the field. Brandon Overton's able to sidestep the 4S of Ryan Montgomery. Now no lap cars between third place Brandon Overton and the 76 and your second place car, the 20RT of Ricky Thornton Jr.
All grooves in operation here tonight in this feature. They come out of turn number 2. He'll have to work around the veteran Gary Lauer with RTJ. Here comes Overton on the bottom. Davenport still leads as they come out of turn 4. You got to watch that turn 4 so you don't slip off the track. And right now Overton right there in third. Here's Thornton. He's got to clear Tyler Bruning. And then, there's no lap cars will be between first and second. Thornton to the outside. And meanwhile, Davenport is on the bottom right now, DJ.
Jonathan Davenport is indeed on the bottom, trying to work by these 2 cars that are about to go a lap down. The 46 of Earl Pearson Jr. And just alongside him is the 1Z of Logan Zarin. Again, those drivers fighting hard for position and trying to stay on the lead lap. And as they do that, Ricky Thornton Jr. just off your screen works by the 16 of Tyler Bruning, and now you got a battle for the lead.
And meanwhile, Hudson O'Neill's gotten around Devin Moran, the top 5. Head down the back straightaway to turn number 3. It's still Davenport, Thornton, Overton, O'Neill, Moran. Then Norris, Blair, McCready, Alberson, Satterley, your top 10. Hughes runs 11th. Ross Robinson is 12th. 15 laps in the books. Out at turn number 2, Thornton now will have the run down the back straightaway around Logan Zarin.
Good run. He's got a tiptoe around the top side of this racetrack. James is a racer thin line on the high side of this speedway, as you can see right there. Davenport on the bottom. Ricky Thornton Jr. up high. Ricky Thornton Jr. now 0.8 of a second behind, and he closes in a hurry in 1 and 2.
Last time around, said 0.8 of a second was the deficit. They go behind the 46, a 4-time champion, Earl Pearson Jr. Here comes Thornton on the bottom. Will we have a change for the lead? Not this time around, but he is there, and he is cut 0.4 of a second off the lead as Ricky Thornton Jr. on Jonathan Davenport.
Jonathan Davenport's able to dispose of the 46 of Earl Pearson Jr. coming off turn number 2. Now Ricky Thornton Jr. going to do the same at the end of the back straightaway. RT on the bottom, peeks a nose underneath Jonathan Davenport. Davenport, though, the high side. Turn 4, the high side of turn 2 right now. Still a little more momentum. You see RT drive under him again. Davenport, that momentum up high.
Overton still third, then it's still Hudson O'Neill fourth as he's closed behind the 76. Meanwhile, the battle up front, it's still Jonathan Davenport. He's led from the drop of the green. 19 laps complete. RTJ working the bottom, sporting that Midwest Sheep and Alloy spoiler, indicating the current Lucas Oil 800 Series points leader as Davenport works around Boom Briggs into turn 3.
Davenport got a real good run right there coming off turn number 2 and down that back straightaway, James. He was able to get a good run on the 99B of Boom Briggs and able to work his way by him. Ricky Thornton Jr., though, trying not to let that 49 get too far away. We're a fifth of the way through this one. 20 laps scored, 80 laps to go. On the left side of your screen, the battle for the race lead. On the right side of your screen, the battle for third. Hudson O'Neill has caught Brandon Overton.
Hudson O'Neill started back in 9th, right now running in 4th. Trying to make his way to the front as they head out at turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Davenport around Dalton Wilson. Now Thornton will have to dispose of Boom Briggs. He does it at turn 4. There's the battle there side by side up at turn 4. As Hudson O'Neill moved to third, Overton still has it at the line.
It's a good race. The front of the field, Jonathan Davenport like a hot knife through butter right now through the back of the field. He slipped right there a little bit coming off corner number 2. Ricky Thornton Jr. able to close in. Meanwhile, Hudson O'Neill, James, finally able to clear the 76 of Brandon Overton, move Rocket 1 up to third with 23 laps scored.
And Moran is 5th, and it's Norstill, Blair, McCready, Albertson, Satterley, Hughes. How about Mason Ziegler? Mason Ziegler up to 12th, an early candidate for the Todd Steel Buildings Hard Charger.
He started 24th, James, and in 24 laps, he's moved up 12 positions. A 25C on the move. Spencer Hughes be the next driver that he tries to get by. Hughes right now running 11th. There you see the driver of the PCC Motorsports, number 11, Mason Ziegler. Indeed is the early leading candidate for the Todd Steel Buildings Hard Charger of the race.
Quarter of the way through, Jonathan Davenport out of turn number 2. He's got about 3 left cars between himself and Thornton as he makes the move on the bottom around Gary Lyle. Thornton back to that side. Here comes O'Neill at the bottom. Here comes Overton behind him. Man, what a hornet's nest in front of your top 3 drivers into turn 1. Here comes O'Neill. They got to get around Yetter, Wilson, and Gary Lyle down the back straightaway. And Gary Lyle looks like he's going to go slow down the back straightaway. Will he make it off the track? And he may have a flat tire. He makes it to the pit area. We stay green, Dustin.
We do. We stay green as you see Hudson O'Neill trying to work his way around the 9 of Levi Yetter and the 18D of Dalton Wilson. That's second place, the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. James, these guys have fallen back just a little bit. They're now 1.3 seconds behind Jonathan Davenport.
Now only Chubb Frank between the leader, Jonathan Davenport, and second place, Ricky Thornton Jr. to turn number 1. And Ricky Thornton Jr. go to the outside of Chubb. Here comes O'Neill. O'Neill up top, down the back straightaway. Thornton cannot clear. Chubb still into 3. Davenport is led from the drop of the green. 29 laps complete here tonight.
It's been a good one so far, James. Jonathan Davenport, he's never been more than 1.4 seconds out front of this race. 29 laps are scored, and now there are no lap cars between your race leader, Jonathan Davenport, and the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. Now here comes Hudson O'Neill on the bottom in the 1. Hudson O'Neill trying to work by the 1 star of Chubb Frank. Move Hud up around. Thought he was going to get by the 1 star there. Chubb battling back on the outside.
Davenport around defending track champion John Garvin. and Colton Flinner in front of him. Former Series Rookie of the Year. The lead is 1.5 seconds. Davenport will make quick work of Garvin and Flinner. Thornton still second. O'Neill behind him in third. Then it's Overton. Devin Moran still fifth. Michael Norris holding serve in sixth right now. 32 laps scored here tonight. Caution free so far in Lernerville.
Hudson O'Neill continues to run the bottom of the racetrack. James in third. And we have our first Gorsuch performance caution of the night, and it's for the defending race winner, Tim McCready. The 39 is going to make the left-hand turn into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and Tim McCready is your first caution of the night with 31 laps scored in the Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel.
And the crew leaned in to get a word with him, and they are looking under the right rear of that race car, looking around the suspension to see if they have any issues. All four tires up on this race car. Not sure what the issue is yet. We'll try to get an update down here, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. I believe Boom Briggs also in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit area as well. Getting work on the 99B, Tim McCready. James, he was running inside the top 10. And it was a tough break for the two-time and defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion.
The old announcer's jinx right there. Essex Talks says no cautions for 31 laps, and then we have one. And right now, it's Jonathan Davenport. He'll be out in front. Ricky Thornton Jr. is second. Hudson O'Neill is third. Brandon Overton fourth. Fifth runs Devin Moran.
Yes, he does. As again, caution flag out on the Speedway. James, 31 laps scored in the Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel. It's the 17th annual Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel here at Lernerville Speedway. First caution flag of the race flies for seventh running Tim McCready. Tim McCready in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit area. Ben Shelton.
Tim McCready will not become a three-time champion tonight. They suspect transmission issues on the 39, and he is out of the race here tonight.
Boy, a tough night for McCready. He had to go to a backup car. They really, you know, they prepare these cars ready to go. I mean, it was ready to go out of the box, but hey, those nights happen, and he's fourth in the points, so that's good news for Davenport and Moran. Moran is fifth in points. Davenport trying to get in that top four before season's end. So Davenport, Thornton, O'Neill, Overton, Moran, your top five. Sixth is Norris. Seventh was McCready. So that'll move Max Blair, Satterley, Albertson, Mason, Ziegler to 10th, Dustin Jarrett.
Wow, from 24th to 10th. The Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania driver, the 25Z. You just saw Ryan Montgomery there a second ago. He is out of the race, and there's a good look at the Green Lane 25Z of Mason Ziegler. Right now, the early candidate for the Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the race. The field getting lined up in the Delaware double file restart. Your race leader, Superman Jonathan Davenport. He's been the leader since the drop of the green flag. He will be by himself out front. Your second place car is Ricky Thornton Jr. He has his choice of inside or outside lane. James, he's chosen the outside lane. That'll put third place Hudson O'Neill on the inside.
So that means we have 26 cars left. 25 of them have never won this race. How about that?
And
Brandon Overton, the only driver that has. He runs in fourth. So on the Delaware double file restart, picking the top is Thornton. Man, it was exciting through traffic there. Those top four were putting on a show. JD's led the first 31 laps as we go to the Racing for Heroes restart zone. 69 to go in the Firecracker 100.
Green flag is out and we're back underway. Jonathan Davenport has led all 31 laps so far, trying to make it a clean sweep here this evening. James, Ricky Thornton Jr. second. Here comes Hudson O'Neill down to the inside.
Michael Norris trying to get it wound up top of the 10 car, trying to break into the top five. Moran on the bottom. Here comes Norris. Michael Norris does it. He goes to fifth. In car number 10, the Joe Corrado entry.
His best career run in this race was fifth a few years ago back in 2020. And right now he's turning back the challenges of Devin Moran while trying to reel in your fourth place car, Brandon Overton. Meanwhile, James, the front of the field, Jonathan Davenport not pulling away from RTJ and Hudson O'Neill.
O'Neill running in third. Fourth is Overton. Fifth is Norris. Moran sixth. And the Gorsuch Performance Solutions caution is out. We've got Logan Zarin turned around coming out of turn number 4, our second caution of the race.
Second caution flag of the race flies. 33 laps scored in the Firecracker 100 here at Lernerville Speedway. .33 laps scored here in the Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel. Jonathan Davenport has been the leader since the drop of the green flag. Second caution flag of the race flies for the 1Z of Logan Zarin.
Well, 2 more spots for Ziegler. Mason Ziegler started 24th. He's up to 8th. And we're still 17 laps shy of the halfway mark. So it'll be Davenport, Thornton, O'Neill, Overton, Michael Norris, your top 5. Then it's Devin Moran, Greg Satterley, Mason Ziegler, Max Blair, Garrett Alberson. Tyler Erb is up to 11th after starting in 20th. Then Ross Robinson, Spencer Hughes, Ken Schaltenbrand, Colton Flinner, your top 15, DJ. Out of the race, Ryan Montgomery and Gary Lau. So we still have 26 of the original 28 starters left on the track.
Can Mason Ziegler win this race from
Yes, he can.
24th?
Yes, he can.
I mean,
It's reminiscent of Ryan Gustin. Remember several years ago at I-80 where he started like 35th or whatever and got to the lead and got into a lap car. Well, Davenport's led the first 33 laps, but the complexion of this race has changed after 2 cautions here within the last 3 laps.
And Davenport was not pulling away during that very small, that 2-lap green flag run we had right there. Again, I know it was only 2 laps. He was not able to pull away. You know, 49 car is usually very good on starts and restarts. And I'm not saying he didn't get a good start, but maybe not as good as we're accustomed to seeing from the Lance Landers bunch.
Davenport will go to the top on Overton on Michael Norris, who was trying to make that top groove work. Ziegler, though, he'll be restarting on the outside. That's where he's been making his hay, DJ. Again, from 24th, outside of row 12 to 8th.
Well, Ziggy's got to be thinking he can pick off a couple more cars here, right?
Can you get any better than this track right now? Now, let's hope it holds for 67 more laps. That would be fantastic. Jonathan Davenport looking for his first Firecracker 100 win. The odds are great that someone's going to win this race for the first time in their career because, again, only Brandon Overton left running has won it. He's won it twice.
You heard Ben mention earlier, rear end on the 39 is what sideline the defending race winner, Tim McCready. So he is out of the event. And 33 laps into this race, James, and we still have, we still got 24 drivers on the racetrack.
Yep. So Zarin, Logan is still out there.
And he is, so 25, out of the race. We got 25 drivers on the racetrack then, yeah. How about that?
So Montgomery will finish 28th, Gary Lau 27th, Tim McCready 26th here tonight.
I'm getting a couple cars straightened around in the back of the field, and we'll be ready to go back to green flag racing with 33 laps complete here in the Dixie Chopper Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel.
Trying to get them straightened up here in the back. They're told on the receiver, and then we singled them out, then we'll double them up. Dustin, we're still 17 laps shy of the halfway mark, my friend. And that last time, or the best lap so far in this race has been by Jonathan Davenport, but here recently, they've been making some time up on him, RTJ and O'Neill now. All lap cars, they restart on the back. Well, in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
We've seen anything can happen here, man. We've seen it in the preliminary nights. We've seen it in the preliminary races. And we've seen so far with Ziegler coming from 24th to 8th in the first 33 laps of this one. They fire off the Racing for Heroes starting zone, and we're back underway.
Davenport will lead him into turn number 1. Here comes O'Neill on the bottom of RTJ. Ricky Thornton Jr. down the back straightaway. Overton. Now here comes Satterley and Norris and Moran. They try to go 3 wide back here. Oh, and a hard hit. Garrett Alberson involved, Pearson, Garvin.
And I believe that is Alex Ferree, the other driver involved. A very hard hit over there, and it started when the 58 of Garrett Alberson went around. He may have had help coming off turn number 2, and at the start of a race like that, there is nowhere for the rest of the field to go, and that is a tough break for the drivers involved in this accident on lap 33 here at Lernerville Speedway. Caution flag out here, 33 laps into the Dixie Chopper Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel for an accident coming off turn number 2. And all the drivers involved in the accident are okay. And that is a good sign. It was a hard hit over there on a restart, James, and the 58 of Garrett Alberson went around pretty much in front of the entire field.
Yeah, that new Longhorn they debuted at Eldora a few weeks ago. Here's our MAV TV on Flow Racing replay, as they also have it on the video board here at the track, Dustin, as restart for lap 34.
You're going to see the 58 of Garrett Alberson. He may have had the air taken off his car. He went around coming off the corner. It was hard to tell if there was cut. Didn't look, man, that's a hard lick right there. My goodness. Alex Ferree had nowhere to go. And, I mean, he hit that 58 a ton. Wow.
And they're told on the receiver what's going on when they throw the caution, but he was right there and he had a full head of steam. Did Alex Ferree. So a racing deal there. And
it's Garrett Alberson there surveying the damage on that Ken and Beth Roberts Racing at number 58.
Alex Ferree, of course, that number 1 Cochran. Lynn Geisler, one of the winningest drivers here in the history of this racetrack.
Saw John Garvin over there.
Yeah.
You saw John Garvin over there walking around surveying all the damage as well. Man, there's a lot of damage on that Lynn Geisler owned number 1 Cochran car of Alex Ferree.
Of course, one of the longest sponsorships in dirt late model racing, along with the Lucas Oil on Earl Pearson Jr.'s car. This number 1 Cochran for Geisler and now Alex Ferree the last few years.
And of course, Geisler, a long heritage here at Lernerville Speedway, is continued by Alex Ferree as well. Of course, Alex's dad, Ed Ferree, longtime campaigner in Western Pennsylvania. Alex himself a 6-time track champ here at Lernerville Speedway as Earl Pearson Jr. is making his way into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. We'll send it down to Ben Shelton.
Yeah, a lot of nose damage on the filler panel on the front of this number 46, the Papich Racing injury. They'll get to work on that. I expect Earl will be able to make his way back out. But as you said, a lot of really good race cars torn up in that melee. You hate to see it. But Earl Pearson Jr., J.C. Crockett, and the gang go to work on this race car down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Pit area. And sometimes cautions breed cautions, guys. We were clean and green over the first quarter of the race, but the past few, we've seen a few of those Gorsuch Performance Solutions cautions. Hopefully we can get another long green flag run, get this one sorted out.
Thanks a lot, Ben Shelton. We're going to step aside for a set of commercial breaks. 33 laps are scored in the Dixie Chopper Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Lernerville Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, where we are under our third caution flag of the race with 33 laps scored for a grinding crash. Coming off turn number 2, James, it all started when the 58 of Garrett Alberson went around over in turns 1 and 2. We've got a couple angles of what has put us under this latest caution in the Firecracker 100.
And again, got going, there you go, right there, coming out of 2. See the side there, the air taking off the car, and then right there. You call for the caution immediately, but still, Alex Faree, John Garvin, Earl Pearson Jr., nowhere to go. And it's just a tough deal for all 4 drivers. And Alberson was running in 10th at the point, and that is hard contact. And again, all 4 drivers are okay. Ben, down to you.
John Garvin Jr. down here. They right front mangled on this race car, trying to get a new Hoosier tire on that race car. Nose is mangled. He has pulled off the Hans device, pulled the helmet off. Looks like John Garvin Jr. done tonight as they're just trying to get this car pieced back together. Man, they might try to send him back out, but I got to think with this nose, he's not going to make it very long. A lot of good race cars torn up in that one.
And again, Earl Pearson Jr. running for championship points right now. Comes in tonight, what is he, 11th, I believe. So. Yes. And they're still working under J.C. Crockett there, the crew chief, Ben.
They've actually got the hood off that race car, so you got to wonder if they have some concerns if they it might just be because they're working on the right front. I was wondering if maybe they thought they might have got radiator damage, but I think they just pulled the hood off so they could work on the right front of that race car.
And of course, John Garvin, the defending track champion here at Lernerville Speedway. Earl Pearson Jr. was 5th in last year's Lucas Points. Had a good year last year, James. Of course, got that win in the Rumble by the River at Port Royal. And there's John Garvin with the helmet off. It looks like his night is done. Looks like he is going to be pulling that car back into the pit area.
So 33 laps complete. It's still Jonathan Davenport out in front. Then it's Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neill, Brandon Overton, Michael Norris 5th. Devin Moran 6th, 7th Greg Satterley. From 24th to 8th, Mason Ziegler, Max Blair 9th. 10th will now be Tyler Erb. Then it'll be Ross Robinson, Spencer Hughes, Ken Schultenbrand, Colton Flinner, and Chubb Frank. Should be the top 15.
You see the crews going to work down there on the Earl Pearson Jr. Jason Papich Racing number 46.
Austin Hargrove there in the blue shirt from the Rocket One team.
I don't hear them now, but
these teams, they travel all over the country. I mean, they've all up and down the road together, and they'll help each other out. Ben, down to you.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, you talk about Longhorn versus Rockets. You got guys from Rocket teams down here helping. You got obviously some of the Longhorn teams down here, some of Spencer Hughes' crew, as well as looks like all of Dalton Wilson's crew. They're all assisting down here trying to get this 46 of Earl Pearson Jr. back out on the racetrack. It's been a tough weekend for the 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion as well. He unearthed a manhole cover last night of all things, so it's definitely been the wrong place at the wrong time for the Florida driver.
Well, Ben and DJ, as I just mentioned, Ben, keep an eye on that 25Z car. He made it in there at the very end of a B-main from 15th to 3rd, and he's come from 24th to 8th so far here tonight in 33 laps.
Yeah, I mean, he's marching forward for sure, and just what we saw there, man, you got to have a little bit of luck, though. You got to have something left there at the end. We'll see what Mason can do. We've seen Mason, as you said, 2 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series wins. They both came at East Bay Raceway Park. Man, he'd love to get one here in his home state, and he has marched his way up through there. Also back in 7th, don't count out Greg Satterley. Satterley's another driver that a lot of laps around this place. He's won here this year, and you got to believe Robbie Allen, Hoghead, turning the wrenches on that one, that they've got the long haul setup on the 22 tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ben. As Alex Faree, unfortunately, looks like he is going to require the assistance of the double wreckers, 2 wreckers, to pull that Lynn Geisler-owned number 1C off the racetrack. And, man, that was as we said, James, that was a very, very hard hit over there, and that is not the way that the Saxon-Merck, Pennsylvania driver wanted to end his night. And as you see, the rollback over there as well, the Thompson scrap metal rollback, also there in the back straightaway to see if there's any assistance they can lend to get that number 1 Cochran car off the racetrack here in this Firecracker 100. You see the drone flying overhead there, James, and they may have decided that it was just too much for even 2 wreckers trying to get that car off the racetrack, and I wonder if that's why the rollback is there. Back at Lernerville Speedway, 33 laps scored, 67 laps remaining in the Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel. And after a grinding crash on a restart coming off turn number 2, Alex Faries, Lynn Geisler owned entry, is going to be towed off or hauled off the racetrack on a rollback. And as you see them getting the car there on the Thompson scrap metal rollback. And Mason Ziegler, who had come from 24th to 8th, James, is asking to be pushed to get the fire rebuilt underneath the hood of the 25Z.
Well, you know, not just that, and man, I thought he might come into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. But when these cars sit there, you wonder sometimes if the tires cool down, do you endanger one of these tires sealing over? You know, we don't know a whole lot yet about this National Late Model tire so far. What do they do when you sit there for that long? And then just the driver mentality. You get a rhythm, and then you have to sit there for 20 minutes or so. We'll see if it affects anybody when we get ready to go back green. Still 67 laps to go, a long time around this Lernerville Speedway.
Race that many people look forward to. Again, it began in 2007 here at Lernerville. Scott Blomqvist won the very first one. He's the only 3-time winner of this race. Rick Eckert is Rick Eckert the only driver from Pennsylvania that's won this race? Can you look that up for me?
I can look that up for you. And the answer to that is yes. Yes, he is.
That was back in 2015. That was the only rain-delayed one that they ran in September of that year. So 67 laps to go here. Ben and
DJ, that's my name.
Ben and
well, I'll tell you what, let's get an update down here. Anthony Burrows, when the cars sit that long, do you have any issues about tires sealing over, any other issues when you sit for 20 minutes after you've been green for 30 laps?
You for sure worry about the tires sealing over. You don't want them to ever pull down in the mud so they can cool off, because they're going to have to do a good job getting them cleaned off here.
All right, there you go, guys. Anthony Burrows, crew chief for Ricky Thornton Jr. And yeah, hopefully nobody had the tires seal over during that long sit during the extended red.
When Anthony Burrows talks, James, I listen.
Move over, Randy Weaver. Man, we're right on it here. Thanks everybody, you and Ben, and it's a pleasure to be here at Lernerville and our second year in a row at the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. And everybody's been so gracious and welcoming here. And man, we've been looking forward to this for a long time to get here, and we finally did last year, and it's been spectacular so far. Track is still good. Very good. 67 laps to go, Dustin.
We were rolling along for the first 31 laps. We went caution-free. We've had 3 cautions here in the last 2 laps.
Until Essex jinxed it, and then it's not been good. But
well, we'll try it again. We'll give you a chance for redemption here.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm still looking for a last lap pass. I mean, that's still in the cards. You never know.
We'll find out in about 67 laps, my friend, as the yellow lights have been turned off. The field lined up in the Delaware double file restart. Jonathan Davenport will bring him to the Racing for Heroes starting zone, where we'll get back underway.
33 in the books. Here goes Thornton on the outside. Down low is O'Neill. They chase Davenport into turn 1. Out at turn 2. Norris 5th, Overton. Moran trying to work the top. Ziegler trying to go through the middle. Davenport still leads. Side-by-side battle for second place.
Hudson O'Neill peeking a nose down to the inside of the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr., trying to take that second spot away, as he has been trying to do the last several laps, and just can't quite get it done. Ricky Thornton Jr. able to peek a nose underneath Jonathan Davenport. Can't work his way around the race-long leader, though. Here comes Hud once again in a battle for position number 2.
Ziegler and Tyler are coming up through there. Ziggy still running at 8th from 24th. Tyler started 20th. He's up to 10th. Out at turn number 2, it was 0.4 of a second, as you mentioned, down the back straightaway, where they tiptoe off of that turn 2 as they dive into turn 3. A 3-car breakaway for the lead of the Firecracker 100 with 36 complete.
I just watched them coming off that corner. 3 different lines being run by your top 3 right there. Davenport up high, RT in the middle, Hudson O'Neill down low. Ricky Thornton Jr. goes to the bottom side down in 1-2. We'll see if that blue and orange SSI Motorsports car stays in the middle in 3 and 4. And it kind of does. Hudson O'Neill right down around the berm on the inside. Ricky Thornton Jr. closer to the bottom, and in the middle, Jonathan Davenport up high. That's 1, 2, and 3 on your screen.
Tyler up another spot in that number 1 car. As you see them back here, the battle now Satterley will get around Michael Norris, and now Brandon Overton into the clutches of Satterley and and Norris. That is the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th here at Lernerville.
Yeah, great race there on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, we keep a camera glued to the battle up front, that lead trio. Michael Norris on the right side of your screen. Under the 76 of Brandon Overton, trying to take the 4th spot away from the driver of the Wells & Sons Motorsports Longhorn. The Joe Corrado number 10's got to run down to the inside. Norris can't quite make the pass.
Coming up on 40 complete here. We'll have 60 to go. That 3-car breakaway is a good one. Davenport, Thornton, and O'Neill. There's the battle, Overton and Michael Norris. That's for 4th and 5th. Satterley, Tyler Erb trying to break into the top 6. He goes side by side with Ziegler back here. That's a good one back here, but right there's a better one going on between Overton and Michael Norris. Meanwhile, the top 3, they're still close out of turn 4, Dustin.
This race up front's good.
Yes,
as
sir.
good as this battle for 4th is, we're going to get a camera back up here to the race for the lead because the top 3 are all right there together. Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neill. I'm telling you, Hudson O'Neill may have the better car here, James. He tries to peek a nose down to the inside of Ricky Thornton Jr. once again. Davenport cannot shake himself free. Top 3, toss a blanket on him. 42 laps in the books.
58 to go, still 8 shy of the halfway mark. The top 3 have never won the Firecracker 100. Truly a crown jewel race. Thornton and O'Neill, they close the gap out at turn 4. From 1st to 3rd, they're only separated, Dustin, by 9/10 of a second.
It's unbelievable, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. The top 3 on the left side of your screen. That battle for 4th continues to rage on the right side of your screen. And now, here comes Ricky Thornton Jr. in a battle for the lead, James.
The crowd on the edge of their seat. A packed house here at Lernerville at turn 1. 3 distinct grooves out of 2. They will pick up the tail end of the field down the back straightaway. And for the lead, Ricky Thornton Jr. on the bottom. Here comes O'Neill. Are you serious? Can they go 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4? Oh, baby, and Ricky Thornton Jr. takes the lead on lap 45, Dustin.
Hudson O'Neill may get by both of them right here as Jonathan Davenport, he drives it in deeper. He tries to get the run down the back straightaway. It's the end of the back straightaway. Yes, they are 3 wide for the race lead. O'Neill on the bottom.
They're still 3 wide.
On top. Ricky Thornton Jr. in the middle is your leader.
By half a car length, 46 scored. And Thorne will slide up the track. Here comes JD. Here comes O'Neill on the gas down the back straightaway. And they're trying to go 3 wide and get it, O'Neill. They might have touched 1 at 49 out of 4. This is awesome. 47 scored. It's Ricky Thornton Jr. out in front. O'Neill second. Davenport is 3rd. Overton is 4th. But all eyes are on this terrific battle up front. And here comes O'Neill, a run down the back straightaway on JD.
Yeah, O'Neill had him at the line. Davenport got him back down in 1 and 2. Hudson O'Neill trying to work back by him on the inside in 3 and 4. He may be trapped behind the current track points leader, Tyler Dietz, in the 77.
They'll take a evasive action to get around Dietz. Right now, it's the lead is 1 second for Thornton down the back straightaway. Here comes Davenport. Here comes O'Neill. And now Thornton behind another car. Got it that berm on the inside. Kind of disturbs O'Neill a little bit. Stays in the gas down the straightaway. It's down to 9/10 of a second. Out at turn number 2.
Here comes Thornton.
Here comes O'Neill. Here comes Davenport. We're doing it again. Guess what? Halfway this time around, Dustin Jarrett.
50 laps down, 50 laps remaining. Who's your leader going to be at the halfway point? It's Ricky Thornton Jr. Hudson O'Neill had a good run off corner number 4. He moves back into the 2nd spot. Jonathan Davenport 3rd. They try to work by the 16 of Tyler Bruning, and here comes Hudson O'Neill.
Could we have our 3rd different race leader of the race now? Tyler Bruning in front of them off of turn 4. O'Neill tries the bottom. RTJ still leads. That was close, 2/10 of a second into 1. A dandy at Lernerville. Out at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Here comes O'Neill for the lead. As they scored lap 52 this time around, they're side by side for the race lead.
Wheel to wheel for the race lead. Look at Hudson O'Neill and that Kenny Schulten brand line. Getting that left front up on the berm, coming off the corner. They still go wheel to wheel for the lead as they work by the 99 via boom brakes. Ricky Thornton Jr. and Hudson O'Neill now inching ahead down the back straightaway.
Trying to become the 3rd official race leader. It's only scored at the start-finish line, and it is the 3rd race leader of the race is Hudson O'Neill at lap 53. It's still Thornton, Davenport, Overton, Satterley 5th, Norris, Moran, Ziggy, Tyler, Max Blair runs 10th, but all eyes up front at Dandy at the Ville. Out at turn 4. Heavy traffic for your leader, and we may go back. Thornton may go back out in front.
No.
Nope.
Hudson O'Neal
Look at
by
that.
7 1/1000ths of a second was your leader at the stripe, but Ricky Thornton Jr. able to work back by him in 1 and 2. Here comes Hud back to the inside. We've got a Jim Dandy here at Lernerville.
Here they come at the line. It's still O'Neal. 17
1/1000ths of a second.
out at turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. And they're still side by side. O'Neal forges ahead at a 3. They're going to go side by side. O'Neal, of course, used to drive for SSI Motorsports at the line. And it is
25
O'Neal's back in.
1/1000th of a second.
O'Neal's still in front.
Yes, and these two have pulled away. They've got a 2.5 second lead now over Jonathan Davenport. Brandon Overton 4th. Greg Satterley has now worked his way up to 5th, this time by at the line. Ricky Thornton Jr. back out front.
I'm losing track of race leaders. Down Thorne, he'll slide up there. Flinter gets out of the gas. O'Neal goes down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Eyes at bottom. O'Neal's been married to that bottom. Thornton has been pretty good in the middle and the top. Down the straightaway, 58 complete. Jonathan Davenport is still 3rd. Brandon Overton 4th. Satterley is 5th. As they come out of turn number 2, as they get around Flinter and Earl Pearson Jr. Here's a battle back here. Here comes Satterley working the bottom of Overton down the back straightaway, and Greg Satterley will move to 4th here momentarily.
Momentarily in 4th. Yes, momentarily. He started back in 12th. And the Indiana, Pennsylvania native has put the Gary Satterley-owned 22 car up into position number 4 for the time being. That's the battle on the right side of your screen. On the left side of your screen, Ricky Thornton Jr. remains out front. Look at Brandon Overton battling back on the outside of the 22 of Greg Satterley. James, this time by 60 scored, 40 to go.
By the way, Ken Schultenbrand has moved to the top 10 in the 29 car.
And he started 21st.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
RTJ continues to lead, 40 laps to go here in the Firecracker 100. There you see Overton, and he gets the spot back. So Overton and Satterley have gone back and forth, just like Thornton and O'Neal. Davenport has remained in 3rd for most of this time. Obviously, Moran, Norris, Ziegler, Herb, Schultenbrand, Blair is 11th, Ross Robinson is 12th.
The last time by, James, Ken Schultenbrand had one of the fastest race cars on the track. He's in 10th. He's challenging Tyler Erb and Mason Ziegler for positions 8 and 9.
Ziegler's held in that 8 spot since the last couple of restarts.
There's Kenny Schultenbrand down to the inside.
Here comes Blair. Right now the lead is 0.8 of a second for Ricky Thornton Jr. And Hudson O'Neal remains in 2nd. Davenport is 4.5 seconds behind RTJ.
A lot of cars all right back there battling. About 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th all right there together. You see Michael Norris peeping in and out of your screen. The 25Z of Mason Ziegler. There's Norris in the 10. He's in 7th. And the battle at the front of the field, James, is starting to pick back up. Hudson O'Neal quietly closing back in on your race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Remember what the driver said the last few days? The track slows down. It slowed down about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
The fastest lap Thornton turned was 16.8. He's now at an 18.8. And that still makes for some great racing as we're going to have a battlefully continue. RTJ, whoa, he bounces through turn 4, upsets the car a little bit. 66 complete, 34 remaining into turn 1.
Hudson O'Neal right now content to stay glued to the back bumper of Ricky Thornton Jr. Thornton's the one that's changed his line here, James. Remember, he was running the middle of the racetrack. We talked about it earlier. Back when it was a 3-car battle for the lead with Thornton, Hudson O'Neal, and Jonathan Davenport. Thornton has changed his line to kind of come down a little bit. I don't know that he's running quite as low as what Hudson O'Neal is, especially in 3 and 4s we're about to see right here. But that ever so slight line change that Ricky Thornton Jr. did is what paid dividends for him to get that car back out front.
Jump ring pulled off the track. He was running in 15th. So still Thornton, O'Neal, Davenport, Overton, Satterley, Moran, Norris, Ziegler, Schultenbrand in 9th, Herb, Blair, Robinson, Wilson, Spencer, Hughes. And it's Kenny Schultenbrand still making up time in that 29, but right there the battle as you see the double box. And Satterley and Overton, just like the race for the lead, they have gone back and forth here the last several laps.
Meanwhile, back up the front of the field on the left side of your screen, Hudson O'Neal just had the nose of his car tucked up underneath the rear deck of the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. This time by 30 laps to go. Thornton slides high, coming off the corner at the line. Stays out front.
30 to go. Out of turn number 2, and they've got heavy traffic in front of them. Down the back straightaway. Into turn 3. There you see O'Neal for the lead. Out at turn 4. Will he retake the lead? I don't know how many times they've gone back and forth. He does. Hudson O'Neal back in front at Lernerville.
71 laps in the books. Hudson O'Neal leading for the second time today. We've had 4 official lead changes and probably 24 over the course of this race. O'Neal back out front. Look at Ricky Thornton Jr. now. He's moved the 20 RT up to the high side in 3 and 4 to try to gain some momentum. Can't quite get it done. He'll dive back down to the bottom, try to reel back in. The one of Hudson O'Neal. The driver in front of Hudson O'Neal. The next car to go 1 lap down, Max Blair. He's in 11th. Tyler Erb is in 10th.
How ironic that Hudson O'Neal retook the lead on lap 71.
Yes.
Get it? Okay.
I got it.
I got it. You're
Yep.
right on it. 73 complete. 27 to go. Hudson O'Neal down the back straightaway. Ricky Thornton Jr. is about 5 car lengths back. Jonathan Davenport is almost 5 seconds behind the battle for the lead. Greg Satterley 4th, Overton is 5th. Kenny Schultenbrand up to 8th.
Yeah, and he
started?
He started back at 21st. He's gained 13 positions. Mason Ziegler has gained 15 spots. And here comes Ricky Thornton Jr. battling back. He's got that high side momentum through turns 3 and 4. Is he going to retake the lead at the line? Yes, he does. Ricky Thornton Jr. back out front on lap 75. What a race at Lernerville. Here comes Hud back to the inside as Ortiz trapped on the outside.
Blair through the middle. O'Neal had to get on the binders, and it'll cost O'Neal. Thornton still leads, and they go behind Blair, who is 11th. Tyler Erb is 10th. Out at turn number 2. They are battling right there. This is all there is to see right now for the lead. Davenport's 4.2 seconds behind. Here comes Thornton. Here comes Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal still with that left front on that berm. There's Davenport well behind the top 2 and 3rd. Greg Satterley still 4th. Brandon Overton is 5th. Thornton drifts up the track, and here comes Hud again.
Yeah, your 10th place car, Tyler Erb, in the number 1 was the car that just went a lap down, and now he is directly in front of Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal trying to find a way around Turbo so that the 20 RT doesn't get out of his crosshairs. 22 laps to go in the Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel.
Yeah, that was close. Remember last year there was a lot of 100-lap races that were kind of ho-hum. This has not been. This has 21 to go, right?
That's right. This one has been good. Jonathan Davenport led the first several laps of this race, over 40 before this battle between Hudson O'Neal and Ricky Thornton Jr.
That's big.
5 official lead changes, James, in this race.
I'm glad you kept track of that. I about ran out of ink in my pen.
There's your 3rd place car, Jonathan Davenport. James, as you mentioned, he's over 3 seconds back of your race leaders. That's JD in the 49. On back to 4th, it's Greg Satterley in the 22.
Thornton starting to pull away from Hudson O'Neal with 19 to go, Dustin. Through traffic, he's got a couple lap cars between himself, Greg Satterley in 4th, and it's Overton, Moran, Norris, Ziegler, Max Blair, and Tyler Erb runs in 10th. So a long stretch of green flag racing.
And there's Brandon Overton in the 76. I just see a little puff of smoke out of Brandon Overton's car, maybe just a little bit of the dust flying up off the corner of the 76.
Right now the lead is 1.8 seconds.
It's the biggest lead that Ricky Thornton Jr. has had this entire race with 18 to go.
Down the main straightaway, making 17 to go, 83 in the books.
There's Devin Moran in 6th. That Double Down Motorsports number 99. It's got a little bit of a gap then back to your 7th place car. And your 7th place car is right there, the number 10 of Michael Norris. And behind him, running in 8th, the driver that started 21st, that black and blue number 29 of Ken Schultenbrand. The 2-time Lernerville Speedway track champ right there in the United Rails number 29. He is in 8th. and you see who's going by on the outside, your race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr., that's the kind of pace that's being set at the front of the field. And RT James now 2.1 seconds out front of Hudson O'Neal.
Doing Ricky Thornton Jr. things. O'Neal has got to get going 2.1. If this thing stays green, 15 laps to go. O'Neal needs to quickly dispose of Ziegler because Thornton's got 3 cars he's trying to battle with here in the tail end of the field into turn 1.
Good battle there on your screen for position number 5 as Devin Moran trying to work inside the top 5 and work by the 2-time Firecracker 100 champ, Brandon Overton. Moran gets him at the line, and with 14 laps to go with a Double Down Motorsports entry is inside the top 5.
Down the straightaway last time it was 1.9 was the deficit, down to 1.8, cut a 1/10 of a second off. 13 laps to go. The top 4 or the top 5 have never won this race. As he battles around Schaltenbrand, Will O'Neal close the gap, Dustin. As I said, 1.8 this time. 1.8.
Well, you would have thought this heavy lap traffic right here would have given Ricky Thornton Jr. more of a fit than maybe what it did. But he's able to dispose of Colton Flinner in the 48, and he'll now try to work by the current Lernerville Speedway points leader, Tyler Dietz, in the 77 as he flashes by the flag stand. 11 laps remaining, going up on the scoreboard here in the center of the infield.
So he is lapped all the way up to 7th. Michael Norris right now in 7th. As they come out at turn 4, Thornton behind him. O'Neal, there's about, 3 lapped cars between himself and RTJ. It's 2.6. The advantage has grown for the driver down the back straightaway. Now hailing out of Martinsville, Indiana. So it's all Martinsville, Indiana here tonight, first and second. And Ricky Thornton Jr. doing RTJ things. That's why he is the #1 ranked dirt late model driver in the nation, and he's 9 laps away from winning his first Firecracker 100.
3.1 seconds, James. Did you ever wonder what 3.1 seconds looks like? We'll show you right here. Ricky Thornton Jr. It's nearly a full straightaway back as he flashes by 1, 2, 3, 4 lapped cars between himself and the one of Hudson O'Neal. 8 laps to go, and that lead has expanded to nearly 4 seconds for the driver originally out of Chandler, Arizona.
So the top 2 in the championship points run top 2 after a terrific battle through the middle part of this race. And there he comes sporting that Midway Sheep and Loin spoiler. He'll be 6 laps away. Don't forget, a bit of business to do afterwards. The scales and through tech as he comes out of turn number 4. As you see Davenport, who runs 3rd, but he's 9 seconds behind Thornton.
Unbelievable. Ricky Thornton Jr., he just continues to stretch out his advantage. He's now almost 5 seconds in front of us. It seems like it was just a couple laps ago that these guys were all right there battling for the lead. They were swapping the lead back and forth. And I mean, RTJ has absolutely turned up the wick. He got a $50,000, not just in this race, but throughout the year. He got the $50,000 win at Smoky Mountain. He was the first car to cross the stripe in the Show Me 100. Got that. That win did not count as he had the rules infraction. He had the parts failure. Did not get that payday, but was the first driver to cross the stripe. Of course, he's a former dirt track world champion. Got a $100,000 win there. Looking to add a Firecracker 100 win to his resume.
And he's only run here a couple of times, right?
That's right.
He moves in on Michael Norris, who is 7th. 3 to go. For the driver, the 32-year-old, formerly out of Chandler, Arizona, lived in Adel, Iowa for a few years. Got the apparel trailer back, a brand new one this week. Things are looking good for RTJ. 2 to go for $50,000, Dustin Jarrett.
His wife, Shay Thornton, there she is. The
Great
baby,
shot.
yes, the baby down there as well in the earmuff saw. And you can just see how nervous, how intense Shay is. Chris Jaco on the pit box, signaling his driver, James, 1 lap to go.
They're not going to need a rally tonight. He and Hudson O'Neal put on a show here at the Firecracker. But Ricky Thornton Jr., no doubt, the #1 ranked dirt late model driver in the nation, will get his first Firecracker 100 win. Officially right now, unofficially.
Checkered flag off corner number 4. Your Firecracker 100 champion is going to be Ricky Thornton Jr. Second will go to Hudson O'Neal. Jonathan Davenport will cross in 3rd. 4th goes to Greg Satterley, and Devin Moran will round out the top 5. Brandon Overton 6th, and those are the 6 drivers on the lead lap. Unofficially, Michael Norris 7th, Kenny Schaltenbrand from 21st to 8th, Mason Ziegler 9th, and Max Blair rounds out the top 10. And there are your My Race Pass results. The 17th annual Dixie Chopper Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel.
Well, we had a candidate for the race of the year right there, and it turns out to be a blowout for Ricky Thornton Jr. 4.9 seconds over Hudson O'Neal. Jonathan Davenport third, 9.5 behind. But I tell you what, race fans, how about that race between Ricky Thornton Jr. and Hudson O'Neal? They put on a show here tonight, and Thornton runs away with it in the final, 15 laps
the final
or so.
15 to 20 laps. Yeah, we had a stretch of racing, James, in the middle of this race. A stretch of less than 30 laps. We had 5 lead changes in that stretch. Unbelievable. A huge hat tip to the track crew here at Lernerville Speedway. They battled Mother Nature for 3 straight days, and this track crew and these amazing fans never gave up. Never gave up one time. And there you see the thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Your Firecracker 100 champ for the very first time in his career, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Ricky Thornton Jr. becomes the 12th different driver to win the Firecracker 100. This will mark his 15th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win, his 10th win of the year with the series, his 17th win overall. And apart from the parts failure at the Show Me 100, it has been a dream season for the Arizona native. And I know his parents, Rick and Tanya Thornton, very excited for that young man, as Ricky Thornton Jr. will come down here to Big River Steel Victory Lane atop the podium. And guys, that's worth noting, the Big River Steel cars, they bookended the top 5 as Devin Moran comes home in position number 5 in the 99 as Ricky Thornton Jr. makes his way around. And Shay, his wife, was joking before the feature that it was quite the task to get all the kids across the racetrack during driver intros. They're going to be glad they're going to be down here for the $50,000 picture as Ricky Thornton Jr. brings the Todd and Vicky Burns, SSI Motorsports, Bill Stein, Dyno One, Hoker Trucking, Clements Powered Longhorn into Victory Lane tonight at Lernerville Speedway in the finale of the Dixie Chopper Firecracker 100 presented by Big River Steel. Fantastic crowd tonight, and I know you guys are going to get extra loud when he climbs out of this race car. $50,000 richer. Wayne Castleberry with the Lucas Oil Series, the marketing department down there congratulating Ricky. Crew chief Anthony Burrows leaned in to congratulate him. Christopher Jaco, DJ Williams, the entire crew. And they've got this 20 RT on point right now, the Midwest Sheet Metal points leader with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, as he is going to put on the hat and he climbs out of the car. How about it, race fans? Your winner tonight, Ricky Thornton Jr. Oh, man. Ricky Thornton Jr., $50,000 richer, and he's got the whole fam with him down here tonight as he stands in Big River Steel Victory Lane with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, with a lot of Big River Steel folks in the house. Ricky, you got a little bit of confetti here, brother. We're going to pull that off there and get it off. You just won the Firecracker 100 by over a straightaway. What are the emotions right now?
Oh, man, I really didn't know what to do on those restarts, and I'm like, you know what? I know I was running around the bottom. If I can just keep him pinched down there, maybe late in the race I could roll the middle and get back by him. And I don't know. I guess I just saved my stuff long enough where whenever I needed to use it, I really could. It's pretty cool. I know there's a ton of Big River Steel people here, so it's pretty cool to win it. Got to thank Hoker Trucking, Coltman Farms Racing, Big River Steel, Bill Stein, Dyno One, Steak on a Stick. If you haven't got some, make sure you get over there and go get some. So my wife, my boys, my little girl here, it's pretty awesome. Gotta give a big shout out to Todd and Vicky for letting us do this, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
I know you come to win, but you also like a good race. And my friend, you had a heck of a race with Hudson O'Neal. You'd get to the lead, he would get to the lead. What was, do you think, the determining factor on you able to finally pull away from him?
Man, really, I don't know. I felt like I had a really good race there at JD too for a while, and then Ho to get by me, and I just kind of railed the middle, and he'd get stuck behind a lap car, and I wasn't positive what tires he had on. I know they were talking about going soft, so it kind of committed him to the bottom. I don't know if that's what they ended up on, and I don't know. I felt like I gave the race away once he got by, and then was behind Earl, and I I don't know, kicked it another gear and just Hail Mary the top, and it stuck. And then I was able to run there for a long time. And then there with about probably 15 to go, I moved back down to the middle. And I don't know, our stuff was good all night, all weekend, really, other than my bonehead move over there in turn 3. So overall, just got to thank all the fans for coming out, everyone putting this whole deal on.
I want to know, before we thank all of these sponsors, what's the most people you've ever had in Victory Lane? You might be about to have about 500 or 600 down here with you.
Hey, that's fine. If everybody wants to come down here, I don't care.
Ricky, you got a lot of great people that support you. Who do you want to thank?
Yeah, I got thank Scott Coleman there at Big River Steel for sure. Putting up extra money for this whole deal and make it $50,000 to win. So him, Hoker Trucking, Coleman Farms Racing, Sunoco Race Fuels, Midwest Sheet Metal. Luckily, I didn't knock the right rear out. I thought a couple times there before I was going to. So Longhorn Chassis, Bill Stein Shocks, Dyno One, like I said, my wife, everybody, EMD Wraps, Murdy Farms, a certified inspection service, the High Performance Lubricants. I always forget to thank David there, so at least we'll get him this time.
Last thing, this place has been extra loud for you tonight. What do you got to say to all the Ricky Thornton Jr. fans that were rooting for you?
I appreciate every single one of you guys that stopped by the apparel trailer. Come stop by afterwards, and we can sign some autographs and everything else.
Race fans, how about it? Ricky Thornton Jr., your Firecracker 100 champion. DJ James, I'm going to toss it back up top before we catch up with our. Oh, yeah, he found me. How about that? As we've got our second place finisher, Hudson O'Neill. Hudson, man, you drove the wheels off of it. Did you have anything at all left in the tank for Ricky tonight?
I don't know. Just whenever I was so married to that bottom, it was hard to deal with some of them lap cars because I just couldn't quite get a run on them I needed. And then that bottom got so thin, then it made it even harder. And that Ricky had a little hard tires on and was able to move out on the racetrack a little bit. And maybe I didn't give it a fair enough shot. I don't know. But we kind of been behind the 8-ball here all week, man. We just struggled to find our stride, and I felt like we just kept getting a little bit better and a little bit better every time we got on the racetrack. So to come out of here with a second, we're not going to bow our heads about that. You know, obviously we want to win and we want to be where that 20 car is, but we're happy with a second tonight.
Race fans, Hudson O'Neill, he comes home in position number 2. And rounding out our Big River Steel podium, DJ James, I'm going to throw it back up to you, and then we're going to catch up with our third place finisher, Jonathan Davenport.
All right, thanks a lot, James. As top 5 making their way back out on the Speedway here for Victory Lane ceremonies. There's Scott Coleman from Big River Steel. You see him giving a big hug and handshake to your race winner, Ricky Thornton Jr. And how cool is it, this event sponsored by Big River Steel and a driver of one of the Big River Steel cars in Victory Lane. Ben is caught up with a driver that rounds out the Big River Steel podium here tonight.
JD, you had a heck of a car the first 40 or so laps. Still, you come home third tonight, but it seemed like just before halfway that Ricky and Hudson had something a little bit different than you had. Was it a tire choice, setup? What was the difference tonight?
Hudson was on a little bit different tire than I think me and Ricky was. Me and Ricky was on the same tires, I believe, but we was just a little too tight. And once it got slicker and slicker, that it showed up more and more. I couldn't turn down in the corner like I needed to, and had to shear. But you know, that's a brand new car, and you know, that's the best we've ever been here by far. So you know, I'll take that. Top 3, good points night for us, really, in the big scheme of things. So just gotta thank my guys, Corey and Vinny and Tyler there for everything they do for me. Thanks for, you know, obviously Lance back home watching, and everybody else. Nutrient Solutions, ASC Warranty, Donna Grow Seed, Longhorn Chassis, Bill Steen Shocks, just everybody's a part of this. We can't thank them enough. And yeah, hell, I'm happy. Top 3 is good. You know, obviously we want to win. Congrats to Ricky. He's just really, really good right now, and we're throwing a lot of things at it, a lot of new stuff, and we just missed a little bit. So I've been on the other turn of that, where everybody else is throwing stuff at their cars trying to catch me. So that's just part of the game. So you know, they're going to ride that wave as long as it is, and we're going to try to catch up to them.
Georgia's Jonathan Davenport rounds out the Big River Steel podium here tonight at Lernerville. Our 4th place finisher, Greg Satterley. Greg, you charged all the way from 12th up to 4th. You got a ton of laps around this place. Ending the weekend with a 4th place finish, are you happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. Normally we struggle at this event for some reason, so to get a top 5, you know, starting outside the top 10, feels good. We had a really good car, just kind of rode around on that bottom, and I felt like I could just, you know, pick cars off one at a time, and was really good on the restarts, so just tried to make smooth laps down there, and had a good finish.
So many laps around this place, so many great fans. Again, to come here and have a race like this in your home state, what does it mean?
Oh, this is always it's always one of our favorite races to come to. It's fun seeing all the fans and the camping and all the extra stuff they do to make it a big event. So, thanks to Lucas, Lernerville, all the fans that come out and support us tonight and watch. We really appreciate it, and hopefully put on a good race, and we'll try it again next year.
The Truth, Greg Satterley in 4th here tonight. And rounding out your top 5, getting a congratulations from Big River Steel, Scott Coleman, Devin Moran. Devin, I know you want to be atop of the winner podium there, the Big River Steel podium, but Scott Coleman from Big River Steel, you guys are talking. You book in the top 5 tonight. It was a heck of a weekend for you and the team. What does this represent for you as you move into the rest of the year?
Yeah, it was really good. We had 2 thirds and a fifth, so 3 top 5 finishes in Lucas racing is tough to do. So we'll take it, but I just want to thank Roger Sellers and Double Down Motorsports and Casey and Robbie and Connor. They spend a lot of money on us, and we're working really hard for them, and we're doing what we can to try to get in this top 4 here.
This car came to life late. If there were any more cautions, did you have anything for the top 4? Did you have a 5th place car?
I mean, you never know. I did feel like my car got rolling really good, but obviously I don't know if anyone's going to catch Ricky right now, man. He's doing a great job, him and Burrows and their whole crew, and yeah, it was a really good run. I just want to thank BRS. They had a lot of people up in the stands here tonight. Scott Coleman, all them guys, Lazy Days RV, Red Oak Pub, CarSourceAuto.com, McHugh's, C&W Trucking. Longhorn Chassis was really good with Bill Stein Shocks and Ibach Racing Springs.
Devin Moran rounds out the Penske top 5. DJ James, what a race here tonight at Lernerville.
It absolutely